Who remembers the DoorDash girl? So, for those of you who don't know anything about her, although you must be living under a rock if you haven't, because this has been a pretty big ongoing thing. It initially started when she's a DoorDasher and she was delivering food to a house, and supposedly, in her version of the story, she was sexually assaulted because the door was open to her and the guy was just in his underwear and so forth. And so she's the victim. But what a lot of the video showed, and potential new video may have even shown, that she might have even opened the door and filmed the person herself, therefore breaking the law and recording somebody who did not give consent, especially when they were drunk and passed out on their couch. But all that in the scoop right now. Legal mindset,
Lost my
everybody.
job. The police are doing nothing. This is a. Hey guys, I just lost my job. The police are doing nothing. This is a man's world. I'm the victim. Remember? I'm the victim.
She's the victim, guys.
Olivia Henderson, aka DoorDash Girl, is absolutely finished after her criminal.
See, and the thing too with her is that in her very first hearing, she's just like blowing kisses and smiling to the camera, just like, I got this in the bag.
Indictment has come down, and now she's going to have some major legal consequences. We're going to talk about that today on The Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney. This is a Fast Facts video, the quick and dirty version of the latest in legal news. So for those that may have missed it, this is our defendant here today, Olivia Henderson. She is the
DoorDash
girl, and she became quite famous when she entered she essentially pushed open the door on a house that she was delivering DoorDash to, and she saw a man inside that was half naked. Now he was passed out from alcohol consumption, as the facts were later go.
That's f***ed up.
But indeed, Olivia claimed, hey, this man SA'd me, right? And this guy was out here SAing me, and therefore the police need to come. Everybody needs.
And it's just weird to even think about it. Like, when she films, she shows him passed out. And at the beginning of the video, too, that they show, it kind of, like, the door might have already been open, which means she trespassed, which means she's breaking the law, you know? But then to say, yes, this gentleman was sexually assaulting me, blah, blah, blah. The dude's passed out on the couch. What on earth was he doing to you besides being passed out in his underwear? You know?
Needs to pay me. I need to be, I'm the victim here. She's claiming to be victim.
I'm the victim. Remember? I'm the victim.
Well, despite her Me Too-esque claims, it in fact was her who ended up getting in criminal trouble because of this. So, Miss Henderson.
You know what's crazy too is that depending on what he says in this too, and depending on the results of the trial, if it goes well against her, that dude can sue her, and he would win if he wanted to. If he wanted to go through all that trouble.
Henderson here, Olivia Henderson, was arrested after recording and posting images of the man on TikTok. So she took those images, took those video, posted on TikTok. It got all around, right? People were able to see the man, see his house in the original.
And not only that too, not only was it taken down off TikTok, I'm pretty sure both the gentleman and her were both completely kicked off of DoorDash. Like, both their accounts were just wiped.
Video, his house number was visible, so you had all of that visible, exposing his location, his person,
my gosh, yes.
Him while he's passed out unconscious.
I'm going to keep telling my story. Like, this is the only justice I'm getting, is exposing this man.
And to be asked, because she had to take down the original post because TikTok made her, but then she re-uploaded it, and then she went and did a couple of these too. So depending on this, this might hurt her a lot more.
That video and it has gone viral. Like, now he can live with shame and embarrassment if people have seen it and knows who he is or where he You know what I'm saying?
So she was arrested on that black last
And
year.
that doesn't
It's
look
been
good on
quite a
her for
while,
saying
but
that.
She was finally
The
indicted
way
by
she
a
did.
grand jury that's just citizens that are drafted out to do the indictment instead of the district attorney. There's kind of those two different methods of bringing an indictment.
Two
On
felonies of
one of
unlawful.
unlawful surveillance and another of distribution of the unlawful surveillance image. And that's absolutely huge news, and that's absolutely something that was breaking right now. But one thing that very few people are talking about, we're going to talk about today on The Legal Mindset, is the massive civil liability she now clearly has under New York state law. Let's get right into it. So let's look at the indictment and the charges that kind of rolled down. So here you see the file from the New York State with Olivia Henderson.
So
birth
young,
year
too. She's
2002.
throwing her
You see the
life away.
indictment,
So young.
the incident was on October 12th, 2025. The arrest was in November by Oswego City Police. Her defense attorney, she's going with the public defender's office. She does not have
So she doesn't have
anything
one.
but a public defender at this point. And obviously the assistant district attorney is on the other side of that with her next appearance there in May. So all of that's coming up. She's got this indictment, which means, hey, a grand jury felt there was enough evidence to proceed on this, to bring her to trial. And what that also means to me is
that was a jury of
is
her
it's going to
peer-
go
not her
forward
peers,
with
but of our
felonies,
peers.
but also there's potential civil liability. Now,
Yikes.
why do I think that's a big thing? That's a huge thing because this is her first time offense for the criminal charges. Those will probably be light. As much as everyone wants to say this might be 8 years in prison, etc., it won't be.
Yeah, because like I was saying earlier, most of the time, especially if she's smarter than Johnny Somali, when you take a plea deal earlier and when it's your first offense, even though it says this carries a maximum of 8 years for all these charges, most of the time you're only going to get like 6 months. But if you draw that process out and it just keeps getting messier and messier and wastes more of that judge's time and everybody's time, then that's when they start throwing the book at you.
This will
But yeah,
probably
she
be
probably-
a slap on the wrist at best with probation
yeah,
or a
that's
split
probably what it's
sentence.
gonna be,
The criminal
unless she's
charges
just
are
really,
honestly
really
going to be
dumb.
a joke when it comes down to it, and she's probably going to enter into a plea deal. But when you look at the civil side and the
And like I
potential
said, the
civil
earlier the
liability,
plea deal, the
particularly
better
under
for her.
Special New York law that nobody has talked about so far, that is
special New
absolutely
York
going to
law.
destroy her. So, turning over to that, after we look at the charges here, once again, the dissemination of a surveillance video and the unlawful surveillance, when we turn over to the massive liability, we look at New York Civil Rights Law, Section 52B. This is for allowing a private right of action for non-consensual dissemination of intimate images, otherwise known as, people know it as revenge.
Oh.
Now, this statute is not just for stuff posted online. It's not just for ex-girlfriends, ex-boyfriends. It's really for any sort of image that's being
Interesting.
posted without somebody's consent. And it covers directly on point secret recording like this. This is something that fits spot on with this and the posting of unclothed bodies without consent.
And there's nothing that she can do about it because in her own video that she posted, the door was already cracked. She pushed it open and recorded a dude in his underwear passed out drunk. Like, with this, like, how do you get out of that? You don't.
And mind you, this situation, it's very interesting because of the genders and people not coming to think of this. But if the genders had been flipped here, if that had been a woman inside and a male DoorDash driver,
Oh, he's been in
certainly
prison
I think
already.
People would have thought about this civil liability right away. But I think perhaps people thought
No, that dude would have already had life in
essay
prison,
thrown
man.
out, there's this kind of Me Too-esque allegation.
He'd already been
We're not gonna
beat by
think about
other
this. But
inmates.
this is very, very direct and very, very on point. And this allows for massive injunctive relief, compensatory damages, punitive damages, and attorney's fees. And because of that, this will absolutely ruin her life. So let me jump over to my judgment. So Olivia is likely going to enter a plea deal or a verdict with a light sentence as a first-time offender. The felonies are not going to land her 8 years in prison. She'll probably get a couple months at best. More likely, she's going to get probation and some sort of time outside of prison, maybe community service, etc. She's not going to be serving the 8.
Yeah, and this is, especially this last one right here, like, sometimes with certain things, you have to throw down the hammer. Because if you don't, then just more and more people are going to do it. It's kind of like the whole copyright thing. Like YouTube, once in a blue moon, they put the hammer down on somebody. That's why you don't see a lot of it on YouTube. Yes, of course, still does. You still see it, but they got a pretty good system that weeds it out and prevents people from doing it, and people are scared of doing it because of that. Whereas you go over to Twitch or Kick or any other thing else, dude, you're listening to freaking Beyonce and Ariana Grande and Katy Perry's brand new albums on stream. Granted, yes, you can do the whole VOD thing where your VODs don't that special trick. But for the most part, while they're live, they're just blaring that stuff.
Years. However,
but
if
this is
this
why you
man
need to
brings
put the
a civil
hammer down.
lawsuit using this law, and we're just talking about this one law, they could potentially recover $500,000 in compensatory damages and up to $2 million in punitive damages just on this. That's kind of an average outcome when you've got something that has gone viral, that has been widespread on the internet.
So how does that work? They just write that off?
Very intimate, obviously intimate details, his location, etc. All of those factors point to a massive claim. And not only that, but this
like
is very similar
I'm pretty
to the
sure,
case of Vitali,
depending on how this goes too,
someone calling them made a criminal
can,
accusation, much as she made that Me Too-esque allegation.
Sorry, I don't think she's
SA.
suing him.
In that case, and when we're comparing the two, in both cases, you have potential defamation and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Those both apply here. Same in the Vitali case and same over here. So if you pile that on top of the liability under 52B, you're looking at potential multi-million-dollar lawsuit here that could absolutely ruin her. So I think, in my conclusion, that she absolutely deserves the maximum punishment.
And that's where I need to do a little more research, because I don't know what happens
don't try to
if
do
you
the
can't
same
pay
thing
that.
or try to post this information online. I think should be absolutely discouraged.
His
But I want to know what you
little
guys think
scared me.
in the comments below, and I will catch you on the next one. Make sure you guys have got your cabbage plushies. They are still available now. You can get them at the link in the description and the link.
Every single time I see this, it kind of makes me want to get one.
Super cute, and they
I
absolutely
won't, but-
enrage Cabbage Boy, Ramsey Kalita Smile, Johnny Somali. So get your cabbages now.
Get your cabbages, guys. Get your cabbages. That is another legal mindset video on our DoorDash girl who has been sweeping the nation with her plea that she's the victim for months now. Months now.